before I had a relationship with God, I was a desperately broken person. I was chasing things that were bad for my life, and I was using those things to help people in the wrong way. I was into drugs, alcohol, women. I had feelings of loneliness. I was afraid. I was scared. I was nervous. I was what you would call running my show. It was my show and my story, and whatever I wanted to happen and whatever I was doing that made me feel good is what I did. And now that I look back at things, it was definitely a selfish way of thinking. Now that I have Jesus Christ in my life, it's made me realize how desperately broken I am as a person, and I'm aware of how bad my sins really are, and I'm aware of the decisions I'm making that hurt myself and that hurt other people, and number one, that hurt God. So moving forward as a Christian, my goal is to realize every day how broken I am and who's in control of fixing my brokenness, and that's Jesus Christ.
Growing up, I was raised Catholic. I went through the motions of the religion, getting baptized, First Communion, confirmation, but it never meant anything to me. It was just more like I had to do it. So I always knew God was there, but I always just saw him as a punisher. There was never a relationship there. So going into senior year of high school, I started getting more into the party scene, the drinking scene. I was getting a really bad reputation at school. I was starting to put my hope and my value and my worth into other people and what they thought of me, and that's how I saw myself. So growing up throughout college, I met a friend, and this friend introduced me to Southridge, and that's how I started going to church. And it was completely different than any other church I had gone to. It was a completely different experience of church, and I really enjoyed it. But I was still taking spiritual vacations and going through the motions, just like doing whatever I wanted, partying through the week, and then going to church on Sundays. And I thought that's what made me a good person. So eventually I just started digging myself a bigger hole and becoming even more stupid, and I was going through a lot of emotional pain and heartache, and I found my refuge in alcohol. I knew God was there, but I was just like, no, God, I got this. And I just started putting all my basically hope and love into the alcohol, and that's what numbed me. And so I would party all the time. I started going even harder at it, started getting even more terrible influences, and just feeling worthless every night, but yet I didn't want to give up that life because it's where I saw my worth. So eventually I started feeling the weight of every sin I had committed in the past and during that present time, and I didn't know how to handle it. It was too much pain, it was too much heartache. I had realized I had hurt too many people, I was hurting myself, I was deeply broken. And I remember I was crying in my bed one night, and I was literally in fetal position. I didn't know where to turn to, and I just felt God say to me, come to me because you are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. And it was the strangest feeling because I didn't know if it was the alcohol or if that was truly God, and I just decided to accept it, and I said, okay, God, I'll give you a shot. And it was almost instantly that I just remembered what we had been talking about in church, about his love and how he wants the broken, and I was really broken. And so, I don't know, I just went to him, and it's almost as if the enemy ran away from that time as soon as I said yes to God. And from that moment on, I just surrendered my life to God slowly but surely, and he hasn't let me down. He's been so faithful to me, and he reveals himself to me every day. There's times in this life where we don't understand him, but we don't have to. Because at the end of the day, nothing in this world matters except Him, as long as we seek Him first. And His love is so overwhelming, it's ridiculous to me. I just don't understand it sometimes. But hey, I'll accept Him and His forgiveness and His love, and He's all that matters.